Greetings once again, fellow book lovers. It's time for the latest edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online, where I present to you a book that I've read, reviewed, and recommend. And today's book is a good one. It is Irresistible Force, The Life and Times of Gorilla Monsoon by Brian R. Solomon. This is published by ECW Press. It retails for $24.95 in the United States, $29.95 in Canada, and it is 505 pages long. People who have seen some of my past video reviews know that when I review wrestling books, I get quite excited about them. I've been a wrestling fan from back in the 60s, and I never get tired of reading about wrestlers. And this book is most exceptional. Brian R. Solomon has written several books on the sport, and he always makes them most entertaining. And this one perhaps could be his most entertaining book of all because he's packed so much into this book. 505 pages is certainly a lot of research and a lot of storytelling, but Gorilla Monsoon has had quite the life. He was once, his real name is Robin Gino Marella, and he, from a young age, in high school and in college, he was part of the wrestling team because he was a big boy. He was almost 350 pounds, and he was quite an ominous presence, and he won most of his matches. And it was only logical that his love for amateur wrestling turned into a love of professional wrestling. And throughout the pages of this book, Brian Solomon tells us how he got into wrestling, how in his first match, it was in 1958, he was known as Gino Marella. Then as he got more experience in the ring and toured more, they decided to turn him into the Manchurian Giant because he was a giant, he was a big man, and he was a heel, a bad guy, who fought the good guys. And he often teamed with another nefarious malcontent, Killer Kowalski, and the two had quite a tag team. And his matches with Bruno Sammartino are legendary. Bruno Sammartino was one of the most popular wrestling stars of the 60s and 70s, and he wrestled him quite a bit. And then in 1969, it was decided that he would become a babyface, a good guy, and he was turned into Gorilla Monsoon. And he started teaming with Bruno Sammartino and other top popular favorites of the wrestling circuit, especially in New York. He did wrestle for the WWWF, which later is now the WWE, and he wrestled for Vincent McMahon Sr., who was the head of the organization. It was at one time called Capital Wrestling, and then it became the WWWF. So, but reading the book is like a who's who of the wrestling world. Hundreds of wrestlers are mentioned in the book that have rubbed elbows or shoulders or whatever with Gorilla Monsoon in one form or another when he was starting out or later in life. And when his wrestling career was over in the ring, he became a highly respected ring announcer for the WWF. And he was also working behind the scenes as well too, with the strategies and making sure everything was in order for the television tapings. Now, his most popular co-announcer was likely Bobby the Brain Heenan. The two were really good friends in real life. They visited each other's houses a lot, and they really did well. There was also Jesse the Body Ventura, who was another co-announcer with him. They got along. It just wasn't the same chemistry as with Bobby the Brain Heenan. And the book goes on to talk about all the different people that he co-announced with. There was Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, and so many more. Now, a lot of tragedy was in Gorilla Monsoon's life. His son Joey Marella, who was a referee for the WWE, died in a very tragic car accident in 1994. And they said that Gorilla Monsoon never ever got over that accident. He was always referring to it. He was always sad. And when his health took a turn for the worst, it was just as though he really didn't care. He always talked about he wanted to be with his son. And so he did have several heart attacks. He did have diabetes. And that really took a lot out of him, though he tried to get back to do the announcing. He didn't want to just sit back and grow old in his rocking chair. He got to the studio as much as he could. And in the pages of this book, we find a really heartwarming story of a really classy guy. So if you like wrestling books and you know Gorilla Monsoon, or you have never heard of Gorilla Monsoon, this book is still very highly recommended. So if you're looking for a wrestling book, 505 pages is a lot of reading, and it's all first class. So if you do purchase the book, please let me know if you do agree with my review. I kind of think you will. So I appreciate you watching this. Hopefully it was informative for you. I'll be back again very soon with another excellent book. And until that time, as I always say, stay safe, stay sane, stay in touch, and I will see you at the bookstore. Bye for now.